Alright, hello there everyone. My name is Betsy. And for those of you who are new to the channel, thank you for subscribing. I have noticed that lately there have been a good number of subscribers to the channel the last couple of months. And so I really appreciate that. So thank you for being here. Thank you so much. I think that today I'm just going to draw for a little while, just see what I can create. I was cleaning my desk and there's just so much stuff everywhere. I can't help it. As I'm trying to put things away, then I found a couple of pens that I remember that I really love. I love these Energel pens. Is this a Pentel? Pentel. I like this one. It's got purple ink. So I got excited. I was thinking I'm going to start drawing. I don't use my red pens too often, so I want to use it today. And the Stabilo. I got this, was it a few months ago? Could have been longer than a few months ago. This is like a really pretty turquoise color. And the other thing that I'm trying to do today, and you may notice the quality of the picture, I'm going to try to adjust it here, might be lacking. I am using a different camera than what I normally use, so please let me know if you think maybe the quality could be better. There are some settings to this camera that I'm using right now. This is an Okio Labs kind of document viewer, and so it's specifically made for kind of like teaching online and doing pretty much the kind of thing that I'm doing right now. But unfortunately, what I'm afraid, and I'm just going to start doodling, by the way, there's no plan, there's no nothing here, so as I kind of chat with you, I'm just going to start doodling. And so essentially what I'm trying to do right now is test out the quality of this camera, because just in the little test runs that I did, I feel like it could be better. I already feel like it could be better. It does a couple of things that I wish it wouldn't do, and so again, as I draw here and as I kind of fiddle around, I can kind of tell you a little bit about what it does. It's really not that important, really, but these are the kind of things to keep in mind if you are going to record any of your processes, or if you decide that you want to share. Sometimes it's easy enough to just use a cell phone. I do have a cell phone and I do record often with my cell phone. I actually, more recently, I've chosen to instead record with my iPad. I do have one, and so that makes it a little easier. But sometimes it's really daunting to just set up so much stuff. Just a lot of stuff to set up. Like for me, the iPad is, as far as devices go, the iPad's a little heavy because I have an iPad Pro, and it's larger, it's heavier, and it's just not fun having to set it up. Especially with my setup. I've shown some of you my setup. It's not really all that fancy. It's definitely not fancy at all. And so just having all that stuff in front of me sometimes just makes it really awkward for me to draw, and I just don't feel like it. What it's doing is it's keeping me from recording and doing my videos and being able to share with all of you. So, gosh, it must have already been, it was a while ago now, earlier this year, so maybe even as far back as 5-6 months ago, I bought this little document camera, and it has its own little stand, has its own little microphone. It has the settings for zooming in, so I'll do it right now. Let's do that. So it can zoom in. It's actually not too bad. I feel like this would have been a great addition to my toolkit when I was teaching online. Would have been nice. At the time I was using my phone and it was awkward. So I got this. It actually does pretty well, the picture quality. The only thing that annoys me is, like right now, I'm using a red pen. I promise you guys, this is red. This is a red pen, but it looks orange. Why does it look orange? It's so weird. And so that's part of the problem, is it isn't true to the colors. And being an artist, of course. Being an artist. Colors are important to me. Very important. So it's a little annoying that I'm drawing in red right now and it kind of looks like an orangey color. I wish it weren't so orangey. And so we'll see as I use different colors, we'll see what happens. We will see what happens. The other thing it does is it whitewashes. And I don't mean that in any kind of inappropriate way. I really do mean just the image is super washed out. I've had such a hard time trying to deal with ways to set up my lighting and things like that so that this thing doesn't wash it out. So again, I'm just kind of rambling, so I do apologize about that. If you don't like to hear me ramble, I'm so sorry. I'm just rambling right now. Rambling and doodling. That's all I'm doing. Ramble Doodles today. I guess we'll call that today. Maybe that's going to be the name of the video. Maybe Ramble Doodles. Doodle Rambles? Something like that. I might also put something under this page because sometimes just drawing straight on this kind of hard surface, because this is my cutting mat, it's a little awkward. Let me get another piece of paper. Papier. Papier. Maybe that should help. But now you can't see the edge of my paper. You're going to think that I'm drawing on a bigger piece of paper. Whatever shall I do about that? Let's do some science. Not that it's important, really. It's not. I actually will take any opportunity to do this. I'm just going to stain the edge of my paper with a permanent marker. That's all. Permanent marker. Which I think most permanent markers are alcohol ink, I believe. Alcohol ink. That way it doesn't... There we go. So now you will be able to see the edge of the paper against this other piece of paper. Even though it's not necessary. So what I'm doing today, really, like I said, I mentioned that it's not anything in particular, but I do actually have a bit of a goal today. There is a slight goal. Aside from doodling with you, aside from testing out the capabilities of this little camera that I got, being annoyed with it while also appreciating its existence. So thank you, little camera. I wish you could do better, but you're not that bad. You're not that bad, little camera. So aside from those things, I do think that it's important to share with you sometimes the process of just creating freely. And for once, to actually just go with whatever pops into your head, just do it. Just do it. So right now, if you got markers, go get those markers. Get your markers out. If you have paints, go get your paints. Whatever it is that... I know a lot of people are very, very good at watercolor, a lot better than I am. Go get your watercolors, a little bit of water. Sit down with me. Sit down with me. And we are going to just fill a page. I think that's what I'm going to try to do. I'm going to try to fill this page. I don't really know how long it'll take. Of course, you are going to know that more than I am, because right now, I have no idea how much time this will take. But you're going to know how long the video is. So there we go. A little bit of permanent marker, so that's the size. By the way, this measures 5 inches by 7 inches. That's the measurement for this little guy. I think it's a good size. If you prefer to work on just loose sheets of paper, 5 inches by 7 inches is nice. You could always turn this into a card. You can make greeting cards. Send something in the old snail mail to your friends. That's always nice. A little bit of snail mail. It's a nice surprise. So you can make cards with it, or you could set up a book, or just like a spot somewhere, a little box or something where you could put these in. That would always be nice. Here I am drawing with my red ink that looks like orange ink. My red ink that looks like orange. It actually looks kind of neat, but again, I'm going to find out. Maybe for you it'll look red again. It's so interesting the way the different devices process colors. It might actually be that the camera is picking up just fine on the color, but the computer is showing me something different. So that could be part of the problem, if it is a problem at all. I'm trying not to be that person. I don't want to be complaining about everything all the time. It just doesn't feel good. I'm switching to my purple pen. Let's see how purple looks Let's see. It might look bluish, maybe. It might look bluish, might look purplish. I recognize that sometimes just having the colors next to each other can affect how they look as well. So there's also that. That'll be an interesting thing to deal with. Very interesting. Little doodles doodles. Okay. And again, I do apologize. I'm kind of just doing whatever I want right now. Is that something worth apologizing for? It might not be. It might not be necessary. I know some people have told me, stop apologizing. Okay, I'm sorry? Oh, that's so bad. I've always wondered, why is it that some people get mad at other people for apologizing? I don't know. Everyone's got their own thing going on in their head. I love this pen, but it skips a little when I try to draw with it. That's the only problem. I like writing with it. Let's try that. See, it works well when I'm writing with it. It works well, but I think because when I'm drawing, let me draw a little cloud around it, make it a happy little cloud that says hello. Maybe my pen strokes aren't swift enough, maybe. Could that be it? Whereas when I'm writing, I'm much smoother. Might be part of it. Maybe it's the speed at which the pen moves along the paper. So I find that when I'm using certain office pens, not all of them of course, because even this red one is an office pen, it's just the tip is a little different. It's got that needle tip and liquid ink, whereas this one's gel ink. They're all a little different. Just a little different. Let's make this little cloud around my hello. Since I decided there are no rules today, we're incorporating words. Just a few little words in here. I think I want to add more of these little cloud structures. Let's do that. There are clouds in my drawing now. And we're going to do it like little fluffy little guys. Fluffy fluff guys. I'll add one over here. I think that back in high school, I remember my counselor putting me in an art class, and probably one of the exercises that I loved the most was an exercise where we were supposed to draw clouds. I remember that the teacher gave us this printout that showed some steps on how to render clouds. I thought that was actually really cool. I wasn't fond of the teacher. For some reason, I don't know why. It was probably some dumb reason. I was a teenager after all. But I do remember that he wanted us to turn in homework. And I remember I did it right away. I liked it. I thought it was a nice exercise. I enjoyed it. Because he had two versions of it. How to draw clouds when there's the sun coming up from below, kind of like early in the morning or late in the evening. So the sunshine is kind of almost shining up onto the clouds from the horizon. And then how to shade it when the sun's above. I believe we had two exercises. And I liked it so much that this is going to be bad. I liked it so much, this was a long time ago by the way, that when a classmate told me the day of that he hadn't done the homework, of course it's an art class, who does homework in an art class, right? He paid me a couple bucks. I was a high schooler, so I just took a few bucks. $5 probably? I probably would have done it for free, to be honest. I would have done it for free. He asked me to do it for him, and I did. I did his drawing for him. I even made sure that it wasn't perfect. I made sure it was just like a little bit not so good. So that way it wouldn't look like he cheated. He probably never turned in his homework. I happily drew his clouds for him. I'm going to do a little stippling. Let's see if that helps add some gradients here. Why not do stippling? When given the choice, do some stippling. I shouldn't have done his homework for him, huh? I shouldn't have done it. I wanted the money, though. That was one of those times where I just figured he was going to ask someone anyway, and it was just a drawing. It was so silly because he could draw. He did. I'm pretty sure I remember making fun of him, saying, like, you can draw. Why didn't you do the homework? It's just he was being lazy and weird. He was being lazy and weird. So I just did it during my downtime, during one of the classes in the morning. Handed it over when we went to class later that day. Here you go, weirdo. The life of a high schooler. Now I do it for free still. I am. I'm doing it for free right now, aren't I? Nobody needs to pay me. I love these stippling so much. I'm hoping that you can see it okay. I haven't been really watching the screen too much, but I am trying to keep it centered at the very least. Let's scoot it this way a little. Maybe that could help move my hand out of the way. I've been having a hard time with that. I seem to put my hand in the way a lot these days. So I am also trying to think of ways to make sure I don't do that. I might just change the camera angle a little. Just a wee bit. And maybe that could help. If I change that, might be good enough. I need to not do so much stippling. I'll be here for 5 hours if I do so much stippling. It's just so good, isn't it? Little dots here, little dots there. Okay, I'll pause on the stippling on that because I'm going to do that forever. I'm going to do that forever. Let's start a thing here. Is this a rainbow? It's like a little upside down rainbow. Everybody loves rainbows. Oh, that's right. That's right, that's right. That's very right. We're gonna ham it up. We're hamming right now. I did mention earlier, maybe was it last week, I mentioned to some people that I got some markers. Oh, it's a big set of markers. Was it 30 markers? 24? I'm going to count them in just a second. Hopefully that doesn't annoy any of you. I'm a fast counter, I promise. I used to teach math. Yeah. Makes me good at counting. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. Oh, that's a lot. 2, 4, 6, 28. What a strange number. 28 is a strange number. These are some paint markers. Very lovely. As usual, I will provide a link in the description. I do appreciate if any of you want to get the things that I show here. I appreciate you guys using my links. It usually gives me a little bit of a kickback from Amazon. So it looks like these are water-based, so which, of course, acrylic paint is water-based. Acrylic paint markers. So it's got these little ends. Let me see if I can put it somewhere where you can see it better. This is the brush tip. So basically it's just a little bit softer. And it's got this marker tip. I'm not so fond of the marker tips really on anything. That's just me though. Let's add some color. Let me stop yapping and let me add color. No more yapping. Let's try a soft pink. So because this is acrylic paint, it's going to cover over the ink. And that may or may not be a good thing. We will see as it dries. A little soft pink. It's almost a little bit peachy. I'm not going to keep track of any of the colors I use, I'm just going to use them. I'm just going to have fun. Okay, I'm going to use the tip that I don't like to use. So this sort of little marker tip. It works fine. Oh, this is so good. So I did just buy these recently, and they were under $20. Maybe around $16 to $18. Again, I will provide the link and you'll be able to take a look at those yourself if you're interested in anything like this. It's not necessary. It's definitely not necessary. I'd just been eyeballing the things for a while. And so as far as the price per pen, it wasn't too bad. And there is actually a very particular reason why I bought these, because it wasn't exactly these markers that I had been looking at. It was a different brand. It's a different brand. Let me grab those little guys. They're over here. These are actually really good. I have been playing with them as well. So I'm going to show you a second brand. You may recognize this one. These are Sharpie Creative Markers. These came out, gosh, just like a month or two ago. And I've been seeing ads for them everywhere. And I don't want to be that person who's buying everything. I really don't. I'm quite honest. Like, you see me buying stuff all the time and I feel bad. I do feel bad when I do buy things, but I was thinking about it for a while. I thought, will I actually use them? Am I going to use this stuff? I try to think about it for a while and make sure that I'm not going to just be buying stuff. So this is the gray. Right now I'm using the Sharpie brand. So you can see the comparison. Let me grab the Sharpie. Is this like a reddish tone? And a magenta. Let's try these. Where's a good spot? I'm going to draw a big red circle over here. Oh, this is going to be fun today. We're going to do mixed media. We're going to incorporate paint. So again, I'm using the Sharpie markers so that you see just the difference, and that they're actually they match up pretty nicely. And of course the nice thing is that you can paint on top of things. You can paint on top of each other because it's paint. It's acrylic paint. So yeah, I'm going to be drawing with ink apparently, and then I guess now we're painting with markers. Paint markers. It's nice. You can make some really nice fine lines with the tip of this thing. It's not too bad. It's not too bad. I'm going to try to do a little bit of layering in a second here, just to see how it deals with layering. There's some wacky colors, aren't they? So those are the two brands. So I'm kind of doing like a comparison. I've been playing around with them. The Sharpie markers are definitely good. I've done a few little test runs and they are very, very good. And so right now I'm actually going to try to spend more time playing with these other markers. Do I have any other pens that I want to use? This black one's got a little bit. Let's make some line work with the black one. Are you? Oh, I thought it was dead. It's good. There is a black marker in the set as well. I just don't feel as comfortable doing this kind of doodling with a marker. You know what I mean? Let's see. What do I want to do over here? They're going to look like petals. I don't think I want them to be petals, so I might do something else with them in a bit. What could I possibly do with these? Let's see. I'm gonna add some lines. So far so good, I think. So far not so bad. I still don't think that this is really showing the right colors. On my screen it looks orangey instead of red. Not cool. Not cool, not cool. I do like the way it looks I like the way it looks red. There we go. But on the screen, I don't like the orange as much. Maybe if I add some blue, that will help it look a little bit more something something. Let me try some of those markers. I said there was a black marker in the set, didn't I? Is there a black? Am I lying? Am I a liar? Oh, there is no black. I know why. I do apologize. I know why there's no black. This is a set of pastel colors. That's why. It's a set of pastel colors, so there's not going to be any black in here. I can't believe I forgot that. I totally forgot. I'm over here thinking there's a black pen in the set. Making unwarranted claims. There's no black. There is a black one in the Sharpie set. Definitely a black one in there. I do know that. And right now I'm not using that. I'm using this, gosh, I don't remember which brand. It came with the set. It came with a set. I'm going to be using all sorts of stuff today. This is just a regular brush pen. Kind of like a Sumi is the style of this. It's like a large, very large soft brush. I like it a lot. It feels really nice when using it to just fill a spot in black. Just feels nice. That's all. A little bit of black. And I'm filling it in black so that this probably wasn't a good idea because it's water-based ink. We will see how it behaves if I put a little bit of ink on top of the black. We will see. What I should do is find a spot where I'll put actual black paint. Actual black paint. Because silly me. I just want to see how things overlap. So this area will actually be paint. Let me turn it a little. Why not? We're trying everything out today. Like I'd said earlier, I want to be able to show all of you that sometimes having a plan is exactly what can stop you. It's exactly what can stop you. So it's nice sometimes to just create, draw all sorts of cute little wobbly wibbly things. Pretend you're in elementary school again. And just have fun. Just see what you can make. I know a couple of people did mention that during a recent video in the comments, that they said as much. That it's just sometimes when you try too much to have a certain thing happen, just all those big expectations kind of make it hard to truly be creative. So sometimes we just need to make weird stuff. Lots of wonderful weird stuff. Just kind of experiment. Let it happen. Almost looks like some eyeballs. Just looking. Just looking. Maybe a little bit right here. More eyes. They're not eyeballs. They're not. It's just a circle. It's just a little circle. Let's use that Stabilo pen. This is it's supposed to be turquoise. We'll see how it looks in a sec. We will see. You will see how it behaves. I think I might rotate. Just because. Hopefully it looks like it is. It's a really, really pretty turquoise color. I love pairing this color up with some kind of violet. Like a violet color. Always looks nice. I want to call it purple, but that's not the color I'm going for. Purple and violet are different colors, I believe. Slightly different, at least. Okay, I need spirals. It's that time. It's time for spirals. Let's do that. Because if there aren't any spirals in your life, what are you doing? What are you doing with your life? I'm just going to kind of stack them up here. And then if I have time, maybe do some shading, a little shading here. Maybe. You never know. You never know what life's gonna throw your way. Like that. It looks like I'm just rotating as I'm going here, because I am rotating. I think that would be good if I did some shading with a pencil, maybe. With a blue pencil I could do shading in there. I'm not sure about it yet. Not sure. But that's fine. I think the camera's doing okay too. I worried that it would do worse, but I think it's handling itself fairly well. What do you guys think? Hopefully it's handling itself. I was a little bit annoyed with the camera earlier. I do wish it could show the red as red instead of that orangey color. I'm gonna add some circles. Some circles. Of course, as usual, my throat starts to bother me. Probably my allergies. Maybe allergies. Not always allergies. Sometimes it's other things. Maybe. You never know. Okay, that color does look nice. I like it. I like it a lot. Let me add a bolder line right here. I need to try to remember that that's what that's called. It's a bold line. Bold. I forget sometimes I do come from a Spanish-speaking country, from a Spanish-speaking family, so as much as I understand English, sometimes I don't always have the right word. The word in this case is bold. I always call it a thick black line, which I guess is not wrong. It's not wrong. But maybe it's not right either. It's a bold line. An adventurous line. Something like that. Something like that. Those are kind of cute. I'm going to add more blue here. I'm going to add it somehow here, because I want to do more stippling now. Let's do that. So here, some kind of little thingy here. And I'm just going to make a solid edge here where it's kind of touching those red bits. There we go. And I'm just going to do some stippling. A little bit of dot. And hopefully it won't take forever. Hopefully. There we go. So I think this is where it becomes apparent, the way that it sort of washes out. I think it looks a little bit washed out right there where I'm doing the stippling, which I don't appreciate, but it is what it is right now. It is what it is. I think it just has a hard time handling these sort of gradients. Technology is funny. It's okay, I think you all can see the dots. There we go, a little bit of shade, a little bit of shadow to help you see the dots. Ooh, what if I do dots in black along with it? So together, the togetherness of the dots might help. Maybe adding this deeper tone in here might... I forgot, I can mix up the colors, can't I? Stippling does not have to be done in just one color, so I guess I'm going to make this edge black right here. That's pretty interesting. Ooh, I could try that on other stuff too. Gives it a nice gradient. Oh, it'd be nice with maybe with different colors, not just blue and black, but just a couple of different colors, just to create a nice little rainbow. That would be nice. Very, very nice. Speaking of rainbows, I'm going to try to add some colors over here. Maybe a little bit of green. This little rainbow is requiring some addition of silly little details. Nothing major, just like a little line. So again, like I said, these are paint markers, so it's really nice to just kind of lay things over each other and see just really subtle colors. Do I have a gray? I think there's a gray in the set somewhere. I'm going to try this. It's not quite white. That's the name of the color. Not quite white. I don't think it says on here the color, which in truth doesn't really matter. It's an off-white, like an eggshell white. I'm going to add a little bit right here, like a little highlight, just a little bit. And on these markers, I'm going to give it a second to dry. On these markers, I think what I like about them actually is that the colors do sort of seep into each other. So the paint isn't as opaque as it could be, but I like that. It's actually nice that I have to go back in a couple of different spots. And I'm almost creating this gradient of the color, and I do like that. The Sharpie markers, these that I showed you a second ago, the Sharpie Creative markers, these paint markers are very, very opaque. And they lay down pretty strong on the first application. They're on there pretty good. So yeah, pros and cons to each of them, but I think they're both great. They both work great. This guy is about to get turned upside down, just like that. Put a cap on this. Move some markers out of the way. My desk is pretty crowded right now. What a weird girl I am. I told myself I was going to clean my desk. I'm doing a great job, aren't I? Clean desk, what is that? I claimed that I was going to clean my desk, and now I'm drawing. I'm drawing and testing out my camera that I haven't used as much as I should have. I'm going to just make this black space here. I'm probably going to just put a lot of these throughout because I am going to paint over these black spots with a couple of different colors. Just add little shapes and dots. So I'm just laying down black. Black. It's not all ink work today. Some of it is paint markers. There we go. Some black. Make sure to keep that here before it runs away. I'm going to start trying a couple of little colors, little baby colors. Some baby colors over here. Some dot dot dot. This is almost like a lavender. little bit of lavender. It looks gray though, doesn't it? Lavender always tends to look gray, especially for me. Let's add some purplier color. Just little bitty dots. Not bad. I'll even put one right here just because I want to. Just because I want to. Sometimes that's a good reason to do things. Not always, though. Sometimes it's okay. There we go. Just adding some of this color there because I want to. Let's see here. How about on the edge of this? Again, this guy's upside down now. The hello is upside down. I'm still doing circles, but I'm going to do little ones. Why not? Little ones. Just a really, really compact little circles. Super tightly clustered. I'm almost scribbling them in sometimes. That's what's happening. Almost scribbled. Makes it look a little more interesting when it's messier that way, I think. Certain patterns are meant to be messy. Maybe that's why I shouldn't call it a pattern. It's maybe more like a texture. Just a texture. I'm just going to keep going like that. It seems like there's a little bit of noise outside too. The outside world. I'm going to take a second to close the window though. Probably should do that. Ah, much better. I forget sometimes that it's hot outside and I live in California. How could I forget? I'm going to draw a little bit of a border and scribble in it. I do love me some good gradients. I do love that. Just gonna get a little dark in there. Nice. Seems like I am using this black pen a lot more than I thought I was going to, huh? I'll switch to the not so red pen in a little bit. Might be nice. Not so red. There's a little kitty walking around under my desk. There's a little kitty. I do have quite a few cats. And they do spend a lot of time under my desk. Little silly babies. I do have a problem with my cats, though. What I haven't told you, what I haven't told anyone yet, is that of my 6 cats, 2 of them refuse to make contact with me. They are essentially wild cats, but they live in my house. They live in my house. They eat my food, but they refuse to let me touch them. And I don't mean like I don't mean like when you reach over to touch your cat and they say, no thank you, not today. No, I mean always. They always, always never let me touch them. Never. Isn't that horrible? That's horrible, huh? Indoor cats that never let me touch them. But there is a reason why that happened. There's a reason. I should have done a better job, but I'll tell you. I can tell you the story of why these 2 of my cats don't let me touch them. I'll tell you the story. when we adopted them, when we brought them in. They were street cats, yes, and they were almost adults. They were quite young, but they were getting to that age, you know, where they're probably going to go into heat soon. We knew it. They were, how old were they? Maybe like 7 months old. They were growing up, and we wanted to bring them in because we were afraid they were all going to get pregnant. It was just a group of girls. A very pretty little mama cat had kitties right outside our house, and they were just so cute. And we were already feeding them, so we thought, oh, they'll be friendly and it'll be great. I did make a mistake, though. I made a mistake. My mistake was that I have a boy cat in my house. And some of you have met him. He's my big fluffy boy cat. And at the time, this was years ago, at the time, he had only just barely gotten neutered. Just barely, like a few months. He'd just been neutered a few months earlier. You know, he'd been fixed. And so he was still kind of in that transitioning stage where he was calming down, but not really. He hadn't quite calmed down all the way. So when I brought those girls in, they were comfortable with me already. They were comfortable with my husband. And I kept them separate from my boy cat for a little while. And then I thought, it's okay, they can meet now. And that was my mistake, is letting them meet. They had not been spayed yet. They had not been spayed. And when they met him, they fell in love. They all fell in love. It was horrible. It was beautiful and horrible because I knew that they weren't going to be able to do any of that. So I thought, oh no. And we made sure to make them appointments, you know, the usual. Made them appointments, took them to the vet, they got spayed. And I thought everything would be fine. I thought that they would calm down on how much they wanted the boy cat's attention. But they did not calm down. I think at that point they had already been kind of brainwashed. They'd already been influenced into kind of feeling that need for him. And so even after they came back, even after surgery, even after their hormones weren't, you know, driving them nuts, they still only want affection from the boy cat. Only. And I do mean only. So those two cats, two female cats that I have, they refuse to let me touch them, but they only want attention from my boy cat. And so there's this kind of, we've got this strange, what should you call it, a relationship in our house, where I have to defend him because these girl cats still constantly just go and hassle him all the time. They just want his attention. They're always following him around, and I can tell he doesn't want it because they'll sleep on top of him, and he gets really warm and he doesn't like that, and he'll just get up and try to find somewhere else, and they're just always fangirling over him. It's actually really funny. Sometimes I can see the look on his face where he just says, "Help me. Help me." And I do. I'll go over there and I'll go to try to pet the girl cats, and they don't want me. Like, they don't want me at all. Not at all. When I have to pick them up for any reason, if I have to try to go get them, let's say to give them medication or anything like that, because that has happened a few times, oh, they hate me so much. They have that look on their face that says, "How dare you put your hands on me? How dare you?" It's awful. And then their little ears just kind of wrinkle back. They just kind of pull their ears back, and their eyes are wide, and they'll cry like a stranger's touching them. If you've ever tried to pick up a stray cat, they hate it. They cry like it's the end of the world. And my house cats do that. It's so bad. I've never had this. I've never had this dilemma. Let me turn this upside down since... There we go. I've never had that dilemma. I didn't know cats could do that. I just thought that once they were spayed, they'd calm down, and boy, did they teach me. They taught me. They really, really taught me. I should have known better. So I am still constantly trying to work with them, still constantly trying to, I suppose, teach them to be okay with me. Sometimes it works. Sometimes I can pet them gently and they won't run, but most of the time if they see my hand come in, they run. Just those two. The others are very, very, very friendly. Very loving. Not those two, though. They won't have anything to do with me. Nothing, nothing, nothing. It's hard. They're my babies and I love them. I do take care of them. I feed them every day. I give them everything they want. But they do not want anything to do with the human. Or my husband. It isn't even like a male-female thing. It isn't any of that. Those two kitties are just not... It's amazing what chemicals do to the brain, huh? Amazing. I think that's what it taught me, just how potent hormones are. So potent. What, these two little girl cats met my boy cat at just the right time, and they were in love. They want only him, nobody else. Poor things. And now whenever they want affection, they just go to each other. So the sisters will cuddle, they might groom each other, you know, the usual. If you have cats, you know. They like a lot of attention in their own way. They'll groom each other and hang out together and chase each other around, but they don't want me to play with them. They don't want anything. Although actually that's not true. They do like it when I play with them with a laser pointer and other things, as long as there isn't any touch. No touching. They've made that perfectly clear. So I'll try to make more progress with them, but they're already about 7 years old, I think. They're about 7 years old now, so who knows if they'll ever get over that. At least now I know. Now I know. I learned my lesson. They taught me. They definitely taught me my lesson. I think I'm going to, let's do that bold line around the edge again. A bold line. I don't know how long I've been here. More than 40? 50? 50 minutes. Oh my. I always underestimate the amount of time it's going to take to fill a card. I really do. I'm not very good at managing the time. But it's okay. It's a-okay. I am really enjoying all the colors in this. I really like it. Except for the red that isn't red. But on my paper it looks redder and I like it. I just won't shut up about it. I just won't. I won't do it. And I do believe I can draw with the ink over the paint, I believe. Let me try to do that. Oh yes. Oh yes, yes we can. Yeah, so it's actually really nice then. That's nice. Let's do that. I like being able to do ink over the paint. I'm guessing it's mostly because a lot of these inks are also acrylic based, so they do interact okay. Yeah, that's pretty good. Let's add black in just a couple more places over the red. That might give it some contrast. Just a little. Okay, I don't want to do too much more. Just there. I could add a little black dot here. Because I feel like if I add a whole bunch of black, I'm going to undo all the reddish red. The red. Don't want to do that. Not today. I'm going to switch to this purple again. I'm going to try to tackle it again. A little bit of purple. Let's see, what other kind of patterns are there? What other patterns exist? Do we have more patterns? Did we run out already? Maybe I ran out. How's about one of these boys? So is it a leaf? Is it a teardrop? Is it an eyeball? Maybe. Maybe it's one of those. Maybe not. Let's see. How about I just do some lines here on the ends? Again, I'm not as comfortable using this pen. It skips sometimes and that annoys me so much. For drawing at least. it skips more than I'd like it to. See, it's doing it there. This is why it's good to find the pens that kind of do it better. For writing, this pen, amazing. Much, much good pen. Very good pen. For drawing, not always. It gets a little skippy for some reason. It's a silly pen. I think what it is it doesn't like the change in the pressure that I'm using. I'm used to being able to just apply as much pressure as I want. And it likes maybe constant pressure. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's it. Okay, let's do a bunch of these. Let's do these here because I do like this color. Bunches. Bunches of these. Like here. Oh, and maybe I can add some color over here. Kind of swap this out for some of this purple. It'll make it a little darker there. Oh no, I'm gonna do stippling here. Let's do it. Apparently today the thing that keeps tempting me is stippling. I like it a lot. Very nice. Oh, I think this might be one of the projects that I do. I'm going to have to do something with a lot of stippling. This is very nice. Especially with the colors like this. I'm liking this a lot. And I do have a lot of fine liners that I need to start using. The poor things are sitting there and they don't get as much use as they should. Poor things. It looks pretty nice. I need to do this for about 20 hours though. It'll look even better, won't it? Only about 20 hours. Only about 20 hours. Stippling is it for today. That's the thing. I like that. Let me finish this thing that I started here. I think that I will pause. I will pause or stop in a little bit. I'm trying not to sit here forever. I do have a few things that I need to do. The responsibilities are responsibilitying very well. I need to get groceries too. My fridge is kind of empty. Do you all think? Should I draw for 2 more hours or should I go get groceries? What's more important? It's hard. The decision's a tough one. It's a tough decision. Drawing or groceries? I could just eat ramen tonight, maybe. My husband might not appreciate that. Although actually he's really nice. He wouldn't care. If we just had ramen, he would accept that. He would say, okay, that's nice. Hot food. It's nice to have someone like that in my life who understands that sometimes things are difficult. Actually, if I ever told him that I didn't have time to cook, he would probably just say, oh, okay, I'll go pick something up. It's that easy, isn't it? I'll pick something up. He does not get mad about those things. I'd hate for anyone to think that. My husband is a very kind person. Very kind. I like these. I like these whatever things they are. I've drawn them before. I just really like them in this color though. They look nice. They look nice in this kind of purpley violet. I like that. See, this is what I mean when you just kind of go for it, just make things. Go for it and make things. Make weird things. Make them ugly if you want to. You can make them ugly. They don't have to be pretty. They can be ugly. They look cool. I like these. Very nice. I believe I want to add some juicy bits right there. What can I add in there? And I think I will use I'll use the black pen. And I'm going to do a very nice technique known as scribbling. I'm just going to outline the space in which I'm going to scribble. It's actually going to be a bit large. Again, because I'm in that mood today to just do weird things. I'm just going to separate this. I just don't want it to be such a huge space, but I am going to scribble throughout this whole thing. So it's this space, and I'm just going to scribble in the space. Let's do it. No more talking, no more blabbing, just scribbling. Less blab, more scribble. Almost like little figure 8 signs, almost. Let's scribble doodle the other part. Scribble doodles. So again, hopefully the camera is behaving itself. I'm hoping the camera is behaving itself. It's being a good boy, I hope. I will probably take a look at this later. If it's good, I'll post it and I'll share it with you guys. I will share it. Yep. And as I'm testing these things out and just making sure that everything is up to date as far as all my equipment, I do promise, I think this week or next week, I would love to do a live stream, and I'll make sure to schedule it and let everyone know when it's going to happen so that you can add it to your calendars. Maybe set a little alarm or something. Maybe. That way we can all get together and do a live stream. I just want to make sure my cameras are good, my computer's good, and my audio's good, everything's good. That's it. So I will make sure, again, as I've told a few people, I will make sure if you miss the live streams that we would have, if you miss our live streams, they will come back very soon. I will make that happen. It will happen. It's always nice seeing everybody chat and just kind of get along really well. Such a nice environment. Okay, so there's scribbles. This is how we do that. And then if that looks like not your type of thing, just know that you can always add more things in there. You can add some ink washes or some other colors in there, and it can really change it up. I feel like if I had some kind of a gray pen, I would add some more color in there. But that's okay, I don't need to do that. It's not necessary. Unless I had a particular pattern I wanted to go for. But not today. I don't. I do not have any particular patterns. We're just actually doodling. And even then, the title doesn't matter. You can call this whatever you want. Playing around. We're just playing around. It's the best way. It's the best way to make art is to play. I think. That's just me. That's just me. There we go. There we go, there we go. All these funny little things layered together on the page. It's like they're fighting. They're fighting to get out, aren't they? They're just, let me out. Let me out. Funny little things. I think all I'm going to do is I'm going to paint a few areas with these sweet little markers, because I think these are, oh, this is such a pretty little color. Again, these colors are pastels. They're very soft, very nice. I'm thinking what this will lead to, I think this is what's going to happen, is that I will paint little areas with colors. Maybe like this, maybe different, but this time it's just like that. Let's say over here, let me lay down some more of that color. What I'm thinking is when I go to finish it, maybe I'll finish it now, who knows, right? I said I needed to go get groceries, and here I am still drawing. And so, my thinking, this is just me. Paint first, like this, to create some tones underneath. Almost like the way some of you do with watercolor. So lay down some colors. Paint, 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 painty, paint, paint, like this. And the paper I am using is cardstock, so it can take a little bit more of this use, although I feel like maybe even regular paper should be fine. This stuff doesn't seem to kind of seep into the paper too much. It's pretty nice. That's a pretty color. Let me put some over here. A little blob of it. So after I lay these colors down, I'll just draw over them. How about that? I'll just draw. Very cute. Very pretty, very funny, very silly. I like it. I could go back and add colors in other places too. I do like purple with red. That's very nice. I do like that. I also have a song stuck in my head right now. I'm not going to sing it. I don't want to subject you to my terrible singing, but there is a song in my head. I might have to go and find it and listen to it when we're done here. It is. I've got the terrible earworm. Maybe listen to it a couple times. That might be nice. Maybe I'll do that. Nice. So I laid these colors down. Oh, those are going to be so cute to draw some patterns in. I like that. That's going to be nice. Very nice. Just these little blobs here. Since I already figured out that I can draw over this paint with my pens. And again, this is just a liquid roller ball. That little needle point. Not too bad, huh? A fun little design here. Alrighty then, so I have been here a little while, oh gosh, more than an hour. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a break, let my hands rest a little bit. That's never a bad thing. I'm going to let my hands rest, and when I am able to get back to this, I promise, absolutely promise, that I will record and we'll finish this together so that you can join me. It'll be in a separate session though, so maybe tonight or tomorrow I'll record the rest of this. That way we can hang out for a little while longer. We'll finish this. We'll go all the way, finish the whole thing. So that should be nice. So that's going to be it for today. I think I am going to go take care of a few things. I hope that you enjoyed this. I hope that you were drawing along and just having fun. Just doodle. Have fun. Make anything you want. Do anything you want. You can do this. You can do this. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.